Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be sharing with you this flavorful chicken mushroom and bok choy sauce. Absolutely love this recipe because it is super versatile. I mean, you can opt to use just mushrooms or you can just do chicken, whichever route you want to go with, whether you want to do the vegetarian version or stick with chicken or do a combination, it is always a hit. Now let's make it. First, you need your bok choy. I got mine from, these are super fresh, absolutely crispy fresh. I got mine from Mince Food. Mince Food is a brand here in Nigeria. You can find this in any local store or market. Mince Food has a hydro farm called Green Tech. So I was just thrilled that they sent me this one, the bok choy with the soil still attached in it. I'll show you a video of how I was able to keep these absolutely fresh for a couple of days. This was the day it arrived. I will show you how I was able to keep it super fresh for a couple of days. And this right here is 3 days after, no, this was 5 days after I got it. 7 days after I got it. Yeah, 7 days after I got it. Okay, anyway, let's get right into the video. So the first thing that you do is to separate the leaves of your bok choy and of course wash it thoroughly. Then the next thing I like to do is to cut it into bite sizes. You can cut them bigger, you can cut them thinly, you can just leave it same size as you see in this video. So I'm cutting this up as thick as this because I love bok choy and this is the size that I want, so feel free to do whatever it is that rocks your boat. Anyway, once that has been cut up, set it aside and move on to the next thing. Now the next thing or item on the list is chicken. I already cut this up. How was I able to get my chicken this thin? I flash froze my chicken and I was able to get it to this size. And if you look into the bowl, you still see some of the liquid from the chicken melting and all. The next ingredient we're working with is mushroom. I cut this a bit chunky because the longer you cook mushroom, it starts to wilt down. So whatever size that rocks your boat, you can even take one mushroom and cut it into 4. The chunkier the better, whatever. Now down to the flavor bomb of this recipe. So in here I have the white part of spring onion, some garlic, ginger and scotch bonnet peppers for some heat. Now let's marinate the chicken. So into a bowl I add the chicken, then I follow this up by adding some cornstarch, some dark soy sauce and mirin. Mirin is a Chinese cooking wine. So I combine this, massage this into just so that it coats the chicken properly, and I'm going to leave this and set it aside for a couple of minutes until we are ready to cook. So while our chicken is sitting pretty, we'll move on to the next thing. Now into a pan, add some vegetable oil, then add the chicken bit by bit. You can do this in batches, but I had a very hungry friend waiting for me to cook. So I decided to do this one quick. I was going to say sharp, but so I decided to just add all the chicken to the pan. So the next thing I'll try to do is to use my spatula to spread the chicken out so that it cooks evenly. Preferably, the reason why I'm saying you should cook them in batches because I like a bit of color in my chicken. No matter what I'm making, I like a bit of color in my chicken, but this is also great. It doesn't take away anything from the flavor of the food or whatever. Anyway, so cook the chicken until it looks like this, then you can gradually introduce the rest of the oil into the pan. So now it's time to build flavors. Next up, I add my flavor bomb, which I already minced earlier. Adding this is going to make your kitchen smell heavenly. if I do say so myself. So just stir this, combine, and once it becomes heavily aromatic, you introduce the mushroom. Like I said, mushrooms are quick cooks. The longer you cook it, it shrinks and becomes, thin. This recipe can be it's very versatile. You can make this with just mushrooms, you can make this with just chicken. I mean, it's just super versatile. And that's just it. So next up, I'm going to make the sauce for this recipe. I'm adding water with some mirin and dark soy sauce. Again, with all my Asian cookings, or with all my Asian sauces, I like to add the sauce around the sides of the pan, so that way it just sips right into it. It hits up immediately and starts to thicken before it gets to the base of the pot, or the base of the wok, or the base of the pan. Anyway, so I combine this and then allow it to just simmer for a bit. At this point, the food is ready. I just need to finish it up. So next up, I'm introducing the BokChoy. Now, BokChoy is a vegetable that wilts really fast. It doesn't need to cook longer than a minute. So I add this to the pan and then I just stir this up together because it needs to combine properly. This was such a quick fix and an amazingly delicious meal. I mean, everybody enjoyed it. My friend enjoyed it, took some home. It was just amazing. So at this point, the meal is ready because another thing you need to understand with BokChoy is that the longer it sits or it stays in heat, it continues to wilt. So this is totally optional, but I'm adding some spring onions, the green part of the spring onions that I chopped earlier, and that's it. Just set it down and serve. I hope that you've enjoyed this recipe as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. It is super quick, it is super delicious, and downright flavorful and amazing. It is ridiculous. I can't even say enough of it. It is just beautiful. Like I said, you can turn this into a vegetarian meal by just using mushrooms, or you can keep it simple by just using just chicken, or be like me and do both. Whichever option that you choose works. Now, to finish this off, I like to sprinkle a little bit of sesame seeds on it. Then, in addition, do a drizzle of sesame oil. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching this recipe as much as I enjoyed sharing it with you. Now, I do hope that you subscribe to my YouTube channel, leave a comment, share this video, and like it. And until next time, I love you, munchos. And in the meantime, my friends and I are going to enjoy this delicious meal. Love you, munchos.